Was said by Dr. Senzal, ang kabataan ay ang pag-asa ng bayan. This time, we would like to say and give emphasis on the youth having a critical role on the peace process for the Bangsamoro. Let the youth be recognized as an important and distinct stakeholder whose voices need to be heard and whose participation in decision-making and governance must form part of the new political institution. We would like to have an active participation in building good, accountable governance and more social relevance to our young people by being actively involved within political institutions and in civic affairs. After all, we as well as our younger generations will be the ones to inherit the outcome of this peace agreement. For the decades of conflict in Mindanao, it has been the children and youth with such a big percentage of being affected by the impact that the conflict has caused. We have been exposed to decades of conflict, therefore, we should also be exposed on how to make Mindanao a more peaceful place to live in. The youth should all the more be involved. Intergenerational leadership is the key in building a sustainable, good, and peaceful form of governance. As we praise the inclusion of the provision on establishing, maintaining, and supporting a complete and integrated system of quality education and adopt an educational framework that is relevant and responsive to the needs, ideals, and aspirations of the Bangsamoro, it is of our concern that the madrasa education be further developed and strengthened, as this is the foundation in transforming our young Muslims rooted on Islamic values as a platform for conflict transformation, reconciliation, applying salam or peace as a way of life, and servant leadership as practiced by our prophets during their time where they started young to respond to the challenges of our ummah or Islamic society. The Islamic value-based madrasa education should be strengthened in the same way that at present madrasa institutions have been prioritizing on teaching scriptures from the Quran. This is about how to apply Islamic teachings and practices in our lives for the benefit of humanity. It would create a big impact if our madrasa teachers' skills and teaching strategies will be further enhanced towards this direction. This certain aspect will build morally upright, peaceful, and productive human capital for the Bangsamoro. Next point is on educating about Bangsamoro history, culture, and identity in the basic education curriculum as part of the normalization process of the Transitional Justice and Reconciliation Commission. History is a guide to the future. The so-called moral problem, or the Bangsamoro question, is a product of our painful and unfortunate colonial past. As we move forward healing the past and building the future, we need to educate ourselves, our communities, and one another that we are all victims of historical injustices. Understanding the history, culture, and identity of the Bangsamoro people will bring us closer to our common goals of a peaceful and progressive society as a nation. Last point is on improving revenue share of local communities from the hydropower of Lake Lanao. In terms of fair and equitable share of surrounding communities on the resources generated by Lake Lanao, there is a need for an effective and efficient intergovernmental mechanism such as institutionalization of a regional Lake Lanao authority that shall govern the revenues and resources around Lake Lanao areas. This strategy is to ensure the fair share of communities that would greatly contribute to allowing them to economically develop and improve their socio-economic condition. In closing, we at the Young Moro Professionals Network support the passage of the Bangsamoro Basic Law. We hope and pray for a credible and fair plebiscite where consent of the governed will prevail, inshallah, God willing. Political will should be reflected and sustained by the national leaders, our president, and the Congress, composed of representatives of the Filipino people across the country. But the will and the unity of the Muslims, Christians, and indigenous people is the determining factor in the realization of the Bangsamoro region. As mentioned in the classic Art of War by a military strategist named Sun Tzu, to win without fighting is the best. The Bangsamoro is not only the victory for the Bangsamoro people, but for all of us who have been at the forefront of waging peace, love, and prosperity. As Nike would say, just do it. So, then let's really do it. For the Bangsamoro is our future. Ito ay para sa bayan at ito ay para sa kapayapaan. So let's do it. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.